The outgoing Volvo XC60 continued to be the best seller in its class right up until the end of production. Whereas other new Volvos, the XC90, S90, V90 replaced cars that were so old people had forgotten they existed, the previous XC60's success presents a challenge for the replacement model. People like the old car, so how can Volvo keep them happy, but change, move forward and improve? Volvo XC60 review, getting behind the wheel. The main weapon in Volvo's arsenal is its new SPA platform, which also sits under the XC90 and V90. The XC60 will be one of the smallest cars, it's 4.68 m long, to sit on SPA, but the advantage of using the kit of bits that the bigger cars get is a range of diesel, petrol and plug-in hybrid powertrains, smooth 8-speed gearboxes, great crash performance and good proportions. All of which means that when you get behind the wheel of the new XC60, you'll find the drive far more enjoyable than in the old car. If you want to drive reasonably quickly, the old car always gave the impression of you asking it things it didn't want to do. In the new model, the message fed back through pedals, wheel and seat is right then, let's crack on. It's not specifically fun to hoon around like a Jaguar F-Pace, but the XC60 is more than capable of hustling. The other great quality is that the Volvo is ultra refined and smooth. Well, when driving normally. It's really easy to get along with, and relaxing to sit behind the wheel. It's neither too light or too heavy to steer. On 19-inch wheels it rides firmly enough, but rarely crashes about, and the body doesn't roll, too, alarmingly in corners. On the motorway a bit of wind whistles past the door mirrors, but with the standard 8-speed auto box, the engine noise is reduced to a whisper, and generally you can while away hour after hour in peaceful serenity. This car brilliantly shuts out the stresses of the outside world. Volvo XC60 review, engine options. The engine occasionally throws a fly into the soup, as it's pretty much like every other 4-cylinder diesel in the world right now, which means when you press the accelerator hard it gets noisy in a guttural sort of way. It's not fast either. We drove the D4 engine, with 190 HP, but it does make perfect sense for everyday use. It delivered just over 40 mpg during our time with it, which included a lot of motorway driving. This engine/gearbox setup's worst quality is the leisurely response of the gearbox when getting off the line. There's a bit of a delay between you stepping on the gas and the car actually moving, which can make getting into a tight gap out of a junction pretty tricky. Still, if you're not a speed freak, we'd recommend sticking with the D4 Auto, partly because of the cheaper tax bracket it puts the car into, partly because the saving over a D5 might